I'm certain they're going to be in the thick of things as we get closer to the middle of the season.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch their resurgence here over the last week, and if they could somehow manage to win, I think this is their third game in 4 days now, and do it in Milwaukee, that would really open a lot of eyes around the MASL. We've got our 3 o'clock kickoff here, and then the nightcap is a dandy out in Southern California. The San Diego Sockers will host the Ontario Fury. That a matchup of the MASL Championship Finals a season ago. So a nice slate on this New Year's weekend in the MASL, and we will have all the action for you here at the RP Funding Center in just a moment. We'll step aside and then be back for the opening kickoff in just a moment. It's the Florida Tropics as they host Utica City FC. This is MASL TV.
We are the Bond Clinic.
We are your medical services.
Comprehensive, personalized, state-of-the-art healthcare designed to serve you and your family.
We are community.
For over 70 years, the Bond Clinic physicians and our team of specialists deliver expert treatments and outstanding care. With over 90 providers, from pediatrics to diabetic care, lab services to sports medicine, we put your health first. Healthcare excellence in our community. The Bond Clinic.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Okay, so I locked my keys in my car. It could happen to anybody. Anyway, this guy shows up with this piece of metal to unlock my car. Does that thing work, I asked? Like a charm, he says. What happened next? I don't like to remember. You wouldn't believe what he did to my car.
Should have called Papa Lock. Papa Lock's friendly professionals will have your door open fast and at a price that'll make you smile. Next time, call Papa Lock.
It's a new year, but one team is looking for the same old result. Find out who next as the Major Arena Soccer League presents the Florida Tropics as they host Utica City FC. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for choosing to spend a little bit of your Sunday afternoon with us here in Lakeland, Florida, as the Florida Tropics get ready to kick it off against Utica City for their 5th start of the regular season. 5th start both ways, and these two teams come in atop the Eastern Conference standings. The Tropics at 3-1 and Utica at 2-2. So even though it's an early season matchup, it's a bit of a showdown, as Utica City would like to climb into a tie for first place, and a little payback, if you will, for kind of an embarrassing performance on their end back on their home opener December 5th when the Tropics were in town and Florida came away with a 7-1 win. We'll talk a little bit more about that game later on in the broadcast. Joined by Robbie Aristodemo. And Robbie, the big story tonight, no question about the Tropics. No Hugo Silva in goal. The two-time second-team All-MASL star is suspended for one game on his hard tackle against Frank Tayu a couple of weekends ago. Brett Petracek, the backup, is dressed, but he will be the backup tonight. Still nursing a bit of a wrist injury. Tropics tell me 80 to 90% ready to go, but they would like to give him one more week at least. So that means the goaltending duties here this afternoon will fall to a local kid. He's from Plant City. He played for Clay Roberts' brother at Plant City High School. He played for Clay Roberts at Southeastern University. He was the starting goaltender on the Tropics UPSL outdoor team this last summer that went to the National Championship Final Four tournament. George Navarrete will get his second ever start in the MASL. He's a confident guy, I know that, but he's got to have pretty big butterflies, and the team in front of him has to know they're going to have to work extra hard defensively tonight, I think, to give him as much love as he can back there in goal.
Yeah, I agree, Brian. I think a little bit extra attention. 5 guys behind the ball, work together as a unit. And again, maybe there's a little bit of a tactical change in terms of, and maybe we possess the ball a little bit more than we're accustomed to give George a little bit more stability. So maybe you'll see a little bit longer spells of possession for the Tropics.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out, and we'll see how George looks and feels, and that may dictate some things as well that the Tropics want to do. I know in a lot of ways you go back to that game up in Utica, and the Tropics were the team. One of the surprises is they played with a much better pace than you would have expected for a team that literally played 12 hours prior, and Utica was fresh, had not played at all. It was their home opener, and yet the Tropics really used their speed and used their transition attack to post that 7-1 win. We said that George Navarrete's MASL statistics come with a huge asterisk. Well, he's only played 75 minutes, even though he's been with his club literally since they joined the league, and he has trained every day with his team since the start of training camp back in November. So it's not like he's a guy that just comes in once or twice a week or once a week or whenever he's available. He's there at practice every day and getting shots, getting reps. His only start in the MASL came back in 2018-2019 when the Tropics had to play the Mississauga Shooting Stars, or the Mississauga Stars, that ill-fated indoor attempt up in Toronto. And the problem for the Tropics and many teams was the Tropics couldn't send most of their players. They literally signed about 12 or 13 amateur players from the Toronto area just to play that game because they could not send their regulars because of visa and work issues. So George was able to travel and played in that game and actually didn't acquit himself all that bad, but still an impossible task. So that's the huge asterisk that goes with his one start in the MASL. He played the last quarter of a mop-up game last season as well, faced 9 shots and made 7 saves in that one. So he'll get the full test here tonight, no question, against Utica City. We'll see how it all unfolds in just a moment. Right now, let's step aside for our national anthem.
Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Aaron Burns with our national anthem, also doubles as the Tropics cheerleading coach as we get ready for action here at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland. The Florida Tropics against Utica City FC. They are led by Moises Gonzalez, who is their leading scorer with 4 goals, 2 assists, and 6 points on the season. Christian Segura, who came over a couple of years ago in that big deal with San Diego, is tied for second in points with 4, along with Nate Bordeaux, who, as we said, played here with the Tropics last season. The last few games of the regular season on loan from Utica. who did not play because of the COVID restrictions up in New York State. Zach Reggett off to a great start for the Tropics this year. 6 goals in the first 4 games played. Also has an assist for 7 points. And another kind of a newcomer. He joined the Tropics midseason last year on loan from Mesquite and then signed as a full-fledged free agent addition to the team over the summer. Vicmore Iligwe, he had a goal up in Utica on December 5th, and he has 4 goals and an assist for 5 points on the season as well. We'll see who gets the start in goal for Utica this afternoon. I think it's going to be Andrew Coughlin back in the net after Brian Wilkin was impressive in back-to-back wins over the Harrisburg Heat a couple of weekends ago. In fact, so much so that Brian Wilkin was named the MASL Defensive Player of the Week for Week 4. So he will be the backup today to Andrew Coughlin, who has been Utica's regular goaltender since they joined the MASL previously as the Syracuse Silver Knights. Tropics will send out Ricardo Carvalho, Zach Reggett, Drew Ruggles, Chad Vandergriff, and Victor Pereiras to start things off here. Carvalho and Bo Yelovitz exchanging hugs out near the center circle. Forgot to watch the coin flip. That is new this year as well. Got to get used to that. Must be the Tropics won it because they will be kicking off here to start the first quarter.
Always important to start and stamp your foot on the ground in terms of having some possession, keeping your lines moving quickly, and really imposing yourself as a solid home team and use the home team advantage.
And we are underway here in Lakeland, and Ruggles will play it long, looking for Pereiras. Coughlin comes way off his line right away, and this will be played back to George Navarrete. So George will clear it out to the center line. Vandergriff will collect, leaves it actually now for Ruggles. I'm sure if you're George, you'd like a couple of shots early, not tough ones necessarily, but wouldn't hurt to get a couple of maybe long-distance shots that you have a good look at and just get those butterflies worked out. As I said, he's a super confident guy. Everyone in the Tropics just loves him. Great personality, and they are going to play hard for him today. I can promise you that. Here's Carvalho in the corner. He had that goal, actually turned out to be the game winner against Ontario in that Sunday matchup. And big one for Carvalho, as he had been looking for that first one all season and finally got it in a very important moment, as it turned out. Long ball by Sandoval goes right to Coughlin. Here's Patrick Thompson. Nice move to get past Anthony Arico. There's the long shot, and Navarrete gets a hand on that. And I suppose, Robbie, if you're Utica, one of their thinking is, hey, we're going to just take as many shots as we possibly can early, right?
Well, it's a possibility. I mean, we know George from seeing him just in training. He's a great shot stopper. He's compact, low to the ground, and I think they're going to be surprised with his shot-stopping ability.
Here's a chance on the far side. Good block in there by Taylor Walter Bond. I think George will appreciate you calling him compact.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Well, and again, you know, it's not just being a good shot stopper. Obviously, dealing with the boards, set pieces, dictating where your wall goes. I mean, there's so many other components a keeper has to be good at, and of course, playing out of the back as well.
Bruno Enrique trying to push through Bordeaux there, and Bruno going to be called for the foul. A little bit too aggressive on the challenge there against Nate Bordeaux, the captain of Utica City. Wears number 42. Long ball, and that'll come right to George Navarrete, who will handle that one easily. Tropics will build forward. Ricardinho back in the lineup here this afternoon. Sandoval gets it down to Enrique and back out to Sandoval.
A little bit more of a composed start than what we saw against the Ontario Fury.
That one sent across the goal mouth, but nobody there for the Tropics. Yelovitz tracks it down far side, comes to the middle of the field. Watched there by Kyle Williams. Now it's Moises Gonzalez, number 11. Easy to spot. Got that George Navarrete man bun. Here's a steal. Shot. Goal!
Well, Brian, I don't think they come much easier than that. That was a giveaway, obviously, from the captain. Bad pass back. And really comfortable finish from Enrique.
Bruno Enrique.
Yeah, Bruno Enrique.
He's getting better and better. I mean, this guy has potential. I don't want to say star written all over him, but he is such a hard worker and such a good finisher. And, of course, that was an easy one, but he worked to create the turnover, and the Tropics get an early 1-0 lead. But he is really a young guy to watch for the Tropics. This is a team that's laden with a lot of veteran talent, but they've got some young guys that they really like, and Bruno Enrique may be right at the top of that list.
Well, and he's a wiry forward. He's good with the sole of his foot. He's certainly a futsal-type player, and he moves himself about the pitch quite a bit. So from what I've seen so far, he's been a great pickup for Clay Roberts.
Yeah, and very aggressive, will shoot, which I like. So, yeah, a lot to like there for Bruno Enrique, and a quick start for the Tropics, which will potentially bode well. We'll see. Obasi with it out near the center circle. Victor Pereira's marking on the far side as Obasi gets it back, being watched now by Eligwe. Tropics want to pressure a lot more in this game than they did in Utica. They really wanted to make sure they saved their legs with playing that second game within literally about an 18-hour period, and so they weren't as aggressive, I don't think, as we'll see today in terms of pressure. And we've kind of seen that here early on with a turnover by Enrique.
Yeah, and again, it's about limiting the play into the target forward. Again, when you're playing Ontario Freer with the big man Frank Taihu, you don't want balls into the target forward. And I think right now it looks like the Tropics are pressing slightly higher to limit that target play.
Ball through to Bordeaux, number 4. To Jake Schindler, who also dressed for the Tropics towards the end of the season last year. Loved his play. Big hulking defensive presence that has a great shot if he gets space in the offensive zone. Here's a long ball down to Reggett now by Oliveria. Tried to hit Walter Bond off the boards, but Coughlin able to come out and cover up.
Yeah, it was the right idea. You saw Walter Bonds making that run past Reggett, just didn't get the right angle.
Again, almost a steal in front. That was Walter Bond again, who almost had Coughlin coughing it up.
Well, maybe it's a little bit of a scouting report that the defenders for Utica
you
City
wonder, right?
Playing a little bit slow and lethargic.
Here comes Patrick Thompson back the other way. Gonzalez, and a nice little finish there by Joey Tavernese. And so the former Tropic comes back to haunt his teammates, and it's a 1-1 ball game.
Well, in Tavernese, he's made a career just with back post tap-ins. He's always getting himself in the right place at the right time. I think it's certainly a little bit of a mistake because, you know, you would have expected 5 against 5 defensively, but it was an open man at back post. And I think Chad Vandergriff, when he looks back at that, the angle of his approach is wrong. He's allowing that ball to go far post where he should be guiding players to the boards.
Comes with 10:04 to play here in the first quarter, so we're tied at 1. Ricardinho with it.
Yeah, we just talk about George being a new keeper, about the angles, and we just talk about that mistake from a veteran defender,
right?
Chad, where you've really got to know your angles and know where the open player is, and you got to force players down the boards.
Reggett with a nice ball over to Ricardinho. Ricardinho one-on-one. Trying to take a shot, gets it away, and Coughlin makes the save. Ricardinho with a nice effort there against Patrick Thompson, and Coughlin had a little bit of trouble with it. Tavernese being watched over there by Vandergriff now, and now Chad will play it back to Navarrete. Navarrete just clears it out of harm's way, and it'll go off the boards out of play. Fortunately, it hit the board, so it'll be a restart.
Well, and that's where George is going to have some nerves when that ball does go back to him. Is he going to be able to play out of pressure and not create too many top-of-the-box situations for Utica City? But I like the start so far from George. He's looked composed. Nothing he could have done with that back post tap-in.
We don't play with the side glide. Here's a chance in front off the crossbar.
Great save as well.
And I think George did get just a piece of it off the foot of Nate Bordeaux there. Here's a long ball, and again, Navarrete Johnny on the spot as Tavernese was looking for a redirect. So Utica aggressive when they get an opportunity. They again challenge up front. Now the Tropics have some numbers perhaps. Here's a long ball down to Carvalho. Carvalho shot. Go!
Wow, that was a quick transition. George splits the defense. Quick ball to the left side of the pitch from Victor Parejas. Off the boards, first time finish from Carvalho, and that's what he wanted. Left foot bang, bottom right corner.
Well, Ricardo Carvalho may be back. He was a little MIA for the first few games, got that big goal against Ontario, and that's a goal scorer's goal right there.
Well,
Perfect crack.
Yeah, you look at it, Victor Perez just gets it on the half turn, plays a ball off the boards, perfectly into his path, and a great first time strike from Carvalho.
Well, we may have a Carl Lewis special here. The track meet is on at the RP Funding Center. Both these teams have come out pressing and aggressive. There's a ball in front. Comes off to Ben Raymond now. Raymond will settle it back out to Thompson. So Pereiras gets the assist, and it's 2-1 Tropics, and we still have 8:25 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, great start for the Tropics.
This could be a wild one before all is said and done.
But we got to talk about the save from George. I mean, it was a tip save, hit the crossbar, so that would have made it 2-1 Utica City. All of a sudden, it's a transition opportunity for the Tropics, and they're up 2-1.
Yelovitz with it, double teamed, gets it back on top now to Slavica Ubi Parapovic.
Well, I've always been a fan of Slavica. He's got a great left foot, very composed on the ball, and really tricky as well. Fantastic on set pieces.
Yeah, he's a pure goal scorer, no question about it. And he's going to tee one up here. Kind of mishit that one, and Tropics will counter. Ruggles will leave it for Enrique, who leaves it for Rico. Long ball down to Ruggles, nice play. Ruggles will circle back now and look for help. And we'll play it all the way back to Monaleras as the Tropics will build forward from the midfield line now. Ricardinho with it. Down to Enrique. Bruno Enrique. Back to Ruggles. Ruggles out there had Taylor Walter Bond on his right. Thought about it for a moment and then plays it back to Monaleras, who gets it in. Good steal by Enrique and then couldn't recover as Ubi Parapovic made a good defensive play.
Well, again, he's just creating some havoc up front. You like what he's doing as a youngster, obviously scoring the first goal and creating a lot of turnovers.
Both teams with wholesale changes. He's Taylor Walter Bond. Shot goal!
Turn my head down and look at the roster, and all of a sudden we've got Taylor Walter Bond coming to his inside. Rocket shot with his left foot. Really a play out of nothing. Kind of did it all himself, like he did last week against the Ontario Fury with one of the goals of the game. He seems to be a wiry player that can go at players, and he's not scared to take shots. Look at the replay, just a ball out wide from Ruggles, and Taylor Walter Bond goes on his own, rolls it inside, fires it with his left foot. Really a play out of nothing. I would think Coach Ryan Hall would be very disappointed in terms of his team structure defensively, because really Taylor Walter Bond was able to come inside and there was really no cover from anyone from Utica City.
3-1 Tropics. We'll step aside for just a moment. This is MASL TV.
We are the Bond Clinic.
We are your medical services.
Comprehensive, personalized, state-of-the-art healthcare designed to serve you and your family.
We are community.
For over 70 years, the Bond Clinic physicians and our team of specialists deliver expert treatments and outstanding care. With over 90 providers, from pediatrics to diabetic care, lab services to sports medicine, we put your health first. Healthcare excellence in our community. The Bond Clinic.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Okay, so I locked my keys in my car. It could happen to anybody. Anyway, this guy shows up with this piece of metal to unlock my car. Does that thing work, I asked? Like a charm, he says. What happened next? I don't like to remember. You wouldn't believe what he did to my car.
Should have called Papa Lock. Papa Lock's friendly professionals will have your door.
Well, we are off to the races here in Lakeland this afternoon. 3-1 Tropics, 6:40 to go. Still here in the first quarter as Taylor Walter Bond, who scored a very pretty goal against Ontario in that win. Here's a turnover now, and good thing for the Tropics that Victor Pereira was there to clean up that little situation and got it ahead to Vicmore Aligwe. Now some pressure in front by Kyle Williams, and again, a little miscommunication in front of that Utica goal.
Yeah, I think Utica City right now looks a little bit disorganized at the back, giving away a couple of cheap turnovers and not defending as five as typically you would see them do. You know, a Ryan Hall type of team. He was a very hard-nosed type of player. And Clay Roberts and Ryan Hall actually would know each other, having played against each other in the same era.
Coughlin well off his line. Look out, the Tropics have a line change going, and Utica had some guys down there. Now here's Yelovitz with it, and finally Ricardo Carvalho sticks in there, but that was sloppy by the Tropics right there. They had a Utica guy all alone in front of George Navarrete for what seemed like forever.
It was 4 players subbing and 1 staying, so they got to be careful with their substitutions when they don't have possession of the ball.
Raymond with a shot. Now a 2-on-1 chance here for the Tropics if they hurry. Ricardo Carvalho gets it over to Reggett. Reggett will tee it up, and Coughlin with his best stop of the first quarter as he dives to his left to punch it out of there. Back ahead to Carvalho. This is shaping up to be one of those afternoons in the MASL. Don't go away.
Well, you do like what the Tropics are doing. They're not hesitating to go forward. Again, very good on the transition.
Nice little layoff to Walter Bond off the grass. Here's Vandergriff. He can't connect as he misses on the short side. Yelovitz will do a nice job backheeling it to Thompson, and Utica City will control. Raymond's heading to the bench. He's going to stay on. Thompson will go up, and now Raymond will finally get to take a seat. Gonzalez with a errant ball ahead to Bordeaux, intercepted there by Walter Bond.
No, errant ball is right, Brian. Just not on the same page right now, Utica City. They're giving the ball away too cheaply. But, again, credit to the Tropics for putting some pressure on their defenders.
Here comes Kyle Williams trying to get around Domenico Vitali and could not do it. Tavernisi will take a look, plays it back to Schindler. Can always find Jake Schindler on the floor. Tavernisi with a nice little ball forward to Nate Bordeaux, over to Gonzalez. Utica City will build forward here. Nobody in the corner, so Drew Ruggles will pick it up easily. Ruggles will play a very pretty ball on the right side to Vandergriff. 2-on-1 with Enrique. Vandergriff takes it into the corner, off the boards in front, off the shoulder of Enrique, and Coughlin grabs it out of the air.
Well, it's a great transition moment. Drew Ruggles getting his head up like he always does. Plays a nice ball down the boards to Chad Vandergriff, but just elects to hold on to it too long. I think he could have released it earlier to make it a clean 2v1. It would have been a tap-in for Bruno Enrique.
Yeah, what a pretty play by Drew Ruggles. Here's Navarrete, and he is, nope, not going to be called. Was aware, it doesn't matter where your feet are, it's where the ball is. Here's Carvalho back the other way. Carvalho tries to play it off the boards in front. He had Ruggles and Enrique both there. Nice play by Pereiras as he's able to come out and stop that one. And then a nice sliding play by Lucas Monaleras. I told you the defense was going to lay out for Navarrete today, and they have so far here in the first quarter. There's a ball across to Pereiras, dangerous one. Pereiras will settle now as Yelovitz was in there. Here's a 2-on-1 again for the Tropics. Ruggles with it over to Vicmore, and Aligwe didn't really get as good a shot away as he wanted.
Well, and Ruggles really set the tone offensively.
Monaleras steps up. Monaleras takes a shot, and that's deflected just wide. Boy, the Tropics just aggressive from the word go here this afternoon, and they lead at 3-1 with 2:30 to play in the first quarter.
Well, and it's a lot of the defenders that are dictating the tempo, whether it's Monaleras or whether it's Ruggles. They're starting the point of attack, which is great to see.
Aligwe didn't have any help, and so the Tropics will reset. Pereiras will take it towards the middle of the field, over to Taylor Walter Bond. Shot deflected partially in there by Vitali, I think. Just missed on the short side. Pereiras trying to step up against Tavernisi. Nice little ball forward to Samau. Isaac Samau's got help. There's a shot that misses on the short side. So Navarrete's been tested plenty here early, and just the one goal so far.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. It was a 2-on-1. I thought the defender did a little bit better for the Tropics, guiding him to the board side and allowing George to see the shot.
We've seen more odd man rushes today
Yeah.
both ways than we have, I think, the entire 2 games we saw here against Ontario. Both these teams going for broke here in the first quarter. Yelovitz with it in the corner.
Well, from a fan's perspective, this is what you want to see. Transition all over the shop. 3v2s, 4v3s, 2v1s.
Rico with the pressure on Coughlin. He gets it away just in the nick of time. And Rico will circle back to get behind the ball. UB Peripovich, there's a header and a nice save by Navarrete as he had that one anticipated.
Oh, that's just a fantastic ball to the far post.
Foul called against Utica City, so the Tropics will put it in play here with 1:03 to go.
And
first half.
Yeah, he's had a
first
great
quarter,
start.
rather.
First quarter, great start for George. Made a couple of critical saves, one phenomenal save early on, and he's been solid with his feet.
I think he's probably settled in now pretty well. Ricardinho with it.
Always like watching Ricardinho play. Uses both feet very well. It kind of jinxed him a little bit there. But that's the commentator's curse. But he's always been a very savvy player, good with his feet, technical, and a nice midfield to kind of slow things down, speed things up. You know, it's a great addition to Clay Roberts' crew in the midfield.
41 seconds, so Utica with plenty of time here to run some offense and perhaps get a good scoring opportunity before the end of the quarter. They would like to cut into this 2-goal deficit, I'm sure.
It's interesting
Speaking
technique.
of Ricardinho over there, yeah, he's on the defense over to Schindler. Schindler with a long shot, and Bruno Enrique right there to step in front of that one. Now here's Thompson with it. Thompson will play it back to Abassi. Abassi gets around Kyle Williams, and Williams then recovers. Tries it again. There's the long shot. Header attempt by Tavernese. He needed to be about 6 inches taller. Here's a long ball down below, and the Tropics in a little bit of trouble, and a handball. Nope, it's the end of the quarter. Looked like Ricardinho might have touched it there with a handball as he fell, but time winds out on a very entertaining first quarter here in Lakeland. We will step aside and be back with the second quarter in just a moment. It's the Florida Tropics 3, Utica City 1. You're watching MASL TV.
We are the Bond Clinic.
We are your medical services.
Comprehensive, personalized, state-of-the-art healthcare designed to serve you and your family.
We are community.
For over 70 years, the Bond Clinic physicians and our team of specialists deliver expert treatments and outstanding care. With over 90 providers, from pediatrics to diabetic care, lab services to sports medicine, we put your health first. Healthcare excellence in our community. The Bond Clinic.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Okay, so I locked my keys in my car. It could happen to anybody. Anyway, this guy shows up with this piece of metal to unlock my car. Does that thing work, I asked? Like a charm, he says. What happened next? I don't like to remember. You wouldn't believe what he did to my car.
Should have called Papa Lock. Papa Lock's friendly professionals will have your door open fast and at a price that'll make you smile. Next time, call Papa Lock.
The officials for today's match are brought to you by Capelli. Capelli is the official uniform sponsor of the MASL game officials. Today's officials on the floor, Christopher Penso and Kermit Quisenberry, had a fairly quiet first 15 minutes as we see Mr. Quisenberry walking the ball out to the center circle. Utica will have the honors here to start the second quarter. That first quarter recap, rather, with the Tropics taking a 3-1 lead. Bruno Enrique, Ricardo Carvalho, and Taylor Walter Bond getting the goals. Joey Tavernese with a counter for Utica. That tied it at 1, less than 5 minutes into the quarter, and then goals less than 2 minutes apart. Ricardo Carvalho at 6:11, Taylor Walter Bond at 7:59 of the period, and that's where we stand at 3-1. Florida out shooting Utica in that first quarter 9-6. We'll do it all over again here.
No, I thought it was a great quarter for Clay Roberts and the Tropics. They certainly outshot and outplayed Utica in that first quarter. As we both know, there's three more quarters to go, but I thought it was a promising start. Good chances, good possession, good transition. Overall, was fantastic.
Yeah, and if there was any thought that they might try and run a lot of clock and try and shorten the game and perhaps try and protect their young goaltender that's making his second ever MASL start, that was out the window in a hurry. They were aggressive right from the opening whistle and never let up. Here's Reget. He's got Yoshio Sandoval, but not a good pass that time by Reget. Counter opportunity now for Utica City. Nice ball through to Bordeaux. Bordeaux with a save by Navarrete as he got a hand on it.
Another great save from Navarrete.
Boy, that's got to help his confidence, help the team's confidence, no question about it. Here's Pereiras.
Yeah, you don't love to see, if you're Clay Roberts, an easy transition opportunity. You know, cheap giveaway and then a counterattack, but great save from George.
Yeah, that was too easy on both ends, no question. And Navarrete was there to bail his teammates out that time. Walter Bond will play it back to Chad Vandergriff. Looks deep into the corner for Enrique. Enrique and Raymond in there. Bruno going to come out of there with it. Nice ball through over to Taylor Walter Bond. Fires, and Coughlin gets a foot out to make a save. He's settled down some. Vandergriff trying to get it ahead. Ruggles will send it out of play.
Well, and again, it's another great shot from Walter Bond. You know, he gets himself into good situations, comes inside on his right foot, and you know, Coughlin had to make a good save there, or else it would have been 4-1 Tropics.
Yeah, done a nice job, has Taylor Walter Bond in creating space and opportunities for himself. He'll tell you, you know it better than anyone, Robbie, this is a game of space and angles. And Taylor Walter Bond's done a nice job of that here in the first half. Long ball down to Tavernese, but that will bounce over the sidewall and out of play.
Yeah, I think what you like about him is that he's not afraid to take players on. Obviously, as we saw last game against Ontario Fury, taking on 3 players. His first goal today with a great solo run, and just about 30 seconds ago, another one going at players. You love players that aren't afraid to take players on 1v1.
Just underway here in the second quarter, a little over 13 minutes to go. Monaleris will head it forward to Anthony Urico, down for Enrique, but just a little too toasty off the boards for Bruno to pick it up. Now Urico with some pressure in there on Christian Segura, who will take the return pass from Abassi. Segura very dangerous in the offensive third, one of the better goal scorers in the MASL. Pressure in there again by Enrique. Coughlin will come off his line now. Coughlin with the long ball. Header, look out. Navarrete with a good touch to knock it away from one of the Utica players parked far post. Here comes Ruggles. Ruggles doesn't have any numbers, so he will wisely play it back to Monaleris, and the Tropics will get some fresh legs out there.
Well, that's the key, Brian. It's fresh legs. It's a head-up play from Ruggles to recognize that.
Ball through to Enrique, back to Carvalho. Carvalho working, knocked down right at the top of the arc, and this will be a restart opportunity for the Tropics that isn't quite a top-of-the-arc restart, but close enough.
Well, and they're going to make some substitutions right now. Clay Roberts has got some of his main shooters. Of course, Victor Pereiras on the ball. He always makes a good decision, and of course, he can hit the ball himself. You've got Carvalho to his right, which would be the anticipated target, and Reget down low.
Here's Pereiras approaching, down low. Monaleris through the box, but nobody there for the Tropics to get the carom from Monaleris. So another restart opportunity by the boards there. Pereiras will try and turn one off the glass and hits it a little too hard and out of play.
Yeah, you talked about it in the pregame. Just haven't been, up to par in terms of Clay Roberts' expectations on those dead ball situations. That's basically at top of the box. And, they looked a little bit sloppy, but I did like the opportunity off the boards. I think Reggett didn't expect it.
Long ball down to Yelovitz, being watched in there by Breno Oliveria, taking, I think, his first shift of the ball game. Former M2 player with the Muskegon Risers. Long shot, pretty easy save in there by Navarrete off Ubi Parapovic. Here's Vicmore Ligwe, and he's taken down, and that's a blue card and maybe a penalty shot. Or we'll see, as Ligwe had his legs taken out from under him, and we'll see if they want to call this wouldn't be a penalty kick, but it'd be a shootout opportunity, I do believe.
But
if they want to call that.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the referees do call. I would anticipate last man shootout opportunity.
It certainly appeared to be last man, and I think that's exactly what we've got coming.
Well,
so it will be a shootout for the Tropics.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what George just did there, throwing that transition right into the path of, Ligwe? Yeah, it was Vicmore Ligwe.
Yeah.
Right into his path. What a phenomenal throw from the keeper. So he's come up big in the first 2 quarters and an outstanding start to this game.
So it will be a shootout, and Victor Pereiras will take it. And, Victor's like, hey, Andrew Coughlin was 20 feet out of his net. So they will do this again.
Maybe some intimidation factor. But Victor's always been good at these. These aren't as easy as they look, but he's always been pretty cool as a cucumber on these opportunities.
The captain will approach. Shot goal!
Yeah, just like we said, cool as a cucumber, typically likes to go to his right bottom corner, and nothing the keeper could have done there. But credit that to George with the transition throw. Beautiful toss, and 4-1 for the Tropics.
Hey, and nothing like a kiss for the goal scorer, right?
Unbelievable.
I'm assuming that's his wife down there in the Pereiras jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're right. It didn't look that difficult. Sometimes try less. Yes. And that's exactly Pereiras just waited for his opportunity and just slots it right past Coughlin, no trouble.
Really a great first half so far for the Tropics. I've loved everything they've done. They're defending in numbers. Their keepers coming up big at the right times. In possession, they're doing well. Their line changes are quick. And, of course, for me, the best thing they're doing right now is those transition opportunities. They're really taking off to create numbers up.
Yeah, with all the factors that we detailed at the top of the broadcast, I don't think you could expect a much better score line at the moment than the Tropics have at 4-1. Did not see that coming. Here's another turnover. Reggett had Rico kind of there, but Rico was fairly well covered, so Tropics will pull it back out. Sandoval will play it off the boards to himself. Comes in, he's got Reggett in front. Sandoval shot off the boards, and nobody there as Taylor Walter Bonded still out at the yellow line to make sure there wasn't any quick counter chance.
Yeah,
but again, a turnover.
Yeah, another turnover from Utica, and probably would have been a better opportunity for Sandoval to go far post with that shot. He elects to go off the boards.
Long ball down to Tavernisi. Rico back to try and win that. Thompson comes in there to keep it alive for Utica City. Tavernisi bangs in there. Rico and Vandergrift double team him. Comes out to Thompson. Thompson has it taken away. Vandergrift with it. He's been out there a while and really could not take advantage of a transition moment there.
Bruno Henrique really gets his foot in there.
Doesn't he? I mean, he's around the ball.
Yeah, he's very disruptive, and you love to see your target forward defend like the way he does.
Again, makes a good defensive touch there, although Abassi able to carry forward. Abassi will collect out at the yellow line here. Bruno watching him.
Yeah, Abassi, very controlled, composed player. Doesn't get rattled, and very long and lean. Very difficult to play against 1v1. But the Tropics have done well corralling and double-teaming him whenever he's isolated.
This is Isaac Samau with it. Now down low, tried to give a little give and go between Bordeaux and Samau there. Taylor Walter Bond sticks a leg in there but can't take it away. Finally, the Tropics do. Enrique gives it away in front. Look out here. It'll go to George Navarrete, who, cool as a cucumber, covers up. He has played well here in the first half.
No, he's done exceptional.
The confidence that Clay Roberts and his teammates were showing in him, not misplaced here so far.
Yeah, we did talk earlier that we kind of poke fun at the word compact, but a lot of keepers in the MSL.
Yes.
A lot of the ones I've seen have been his type of stature, very low to the ground and can get down quickly.
Here's Williams' shot. Coughlin makes a good save there. Yeah, you look at Josh Lemos in Milwaukee, who's not playing
exactly.
right now, but built that way. Augie Ray, who played for them. Here's a chance now. Eligwe with it at the top of the arc. Eligwe couldn't get the shot away, so he pulls it back out to Ricardinho. Even Hugo Silva, I mean, he's not a top of the line in terms of looking athlete, but for a goaltender in this league, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So you make a very good point.
No, it's all about angles, and again, how quickly can you get down? Can you react off the boards? And obviously, George has done that very well tonight. But more impressed for me defensively, everyone's working hard behind the ball. Clay Robert expects that if you're not going to defend, then you don't really have a spot in the roster for the Tropics.
Ball ahead again to Eligwe. Victor Pereira's open briefly on the far side, now circles back towards the ball, and Vic Moore, he needs a line change with 7:55 to go first half. 4-1 Tropics.
One thing I'd like to see Vic Moore there, sprint off. I know it's easier said than done, but those line changes, getting off quicker, really helps the offensive flow of your team.
Well, you're tough.
I am very tough. If I see someone jogging off the field, then I'm going to be yelling.
Good thing I don't play for you at Montverde. Here's Pereira's moving in. Shot! Oh, and he had an open look from about 25 feet and sent it halfway to Owego.
Yeah, exactly. Now he's going to want that one back. He came on the inside, his strong foot. He always drags left, comes inside, and I think he's going to want that one back. But that's a great 1v1 move from Victor.
Breaking the action, 7:31 to go. Florida 4, Utica 1. This is MASL TV.
We are the Bond Clinic.
We are your medical services.
Comprehensive, personalized, state-of-the-art healthcare designed to serve you and your family.
We, our community.
For over 70 years, the Bond Clinic physicians and our team of specialists deliver expert treatments and outstanding care. With over 90 providers, from pediatrics to diabetic care, lab services to sports medicine, we put your health first. Healthcare excellence in our community. The Bond Clinic.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Okay, so I locked my keys in my car. It could happen to anybody. Anyway, this guy shows up with this piece of metal to unlock my car. Does that thing work, I asked? Like a charm, he says. What happened next? I don't like to remember. You wouldn't believe what he did to my car.
Should have called Papa Lock. Papa Lock's friendly professionals will have your door open fast and at a price that'll make you smile. Next time, call Papa Lock.
So for those of you wondering, Owego is a lovely little town in the southern tier of New York State. Just a couple hours ride from Utica, not to be confused with Oswego, where there is a SUNY school. I know one of the people that might be watching today that knows about all those places is our own Keith Tozier, the commissioner of the MESL, who played his college days at SUNY Oneonta, not to be confused with Oswego. Great little Division III schools up in upstate New York there.
Yeah, a lot of quality upstate New York. I mean, the hotbed for soccer. Speaking of Keith Tozer, again, a fantastic coaching career with the Milwaukee Wave. Obviously, commissioner of the league. He's been influential with U.S. national team and futsal in this country in building that momentum. I want to say they're in Madrid now.
He was. I'm not sure if he still is, but yeah, he was. If he isn't still there. But hey, we're worldwide on the web, so no excuse for Keith not watching, right?
He better be watching.
Yeah, it's only like 9 or 10 o'clock if he's still over in Spain. So, member of the 2002 Hall of Fame at Oneonta, class of 2002. Go Red Dragons. Here's a chance in front, and Navarrete, again, very cool, very collected, able to put his mitts on it and snuff out that opportunity. Yoshio Sandoval back the other way. Over to Anthony Arico. Back to Sandoval. Down to Enrique, one of the 4 goal scorers so far here this afternoon for the Tropics, with exactly 6 minutes left to go here in the first half. Here comes Ruggles. He takes the long shot, and he had Enrique drifting in front of Coughlin there on a redirect opportunity or a screen that just didn't quite click. But a good idea by Ruggles. Here's Yelovitz. Yelovitz off the boards, and again, well played by Navarrete.
Well, and again, that's what we talked about is, can a keeper like George, can he read the angles off the boards? And so far he's done great, because that's got to be the most difficult part for a keeper.
Yeah, and as we pointed out again at the top of the broadcast, he has been literally practicing with his team since its inception. And I don't mean just as a guy who comes in once every week or two when he's available. He is there virtually at every practice, every day, has been. I know he has been this year, and pretty much that's been the case every season, even though he's never really played. This is just his second start ever in the MASL. Williams taken into the boards, keeps it alive in front for Ruggles, but then Ruggles loses it to Yelovitz, and Raymond will collect. Raymond, good steal there. Enrique again, over to Williams. Kyle Williams, shot, and he sends that one halfway to Horseheads.
Yeah, and Kyle Williams, he's going to want that one back. That's a simple pass to the far post for a tap-in. Enrique did fantastic, again, stealing the ball defensively. For me, I love having a target forward that works defensively, but I think there, Kyle Williams saw that big goal and wanted to shoot, but he should have passed.
Vandergriff with pressure there against Segura. He'll play it across to Coughlin. Coughlin, look out here. This is going to be a restart at the top of the arc as he mishit that clearing opportunity. He and Segura going to talk it over for a minute.
Yeah, that's good pressure from Vandergriff. Yep. Pressing all the way as a defender and pressing the keeper, and that coughs up. And that's what it takes, that extra little bit of energy and pressing. That results in a nice top of the box.
Pereiras, Monolaris off the pass by Carvalho, but again, blocked pretty easily. And so, second opportunity from near the top of the arc with nothing to show. Navarrete going to face some pressure now himself by Segura. And Segura thought he would get it back, but Pereiras did a nice job. Pereiras gets it ahead to Regat. Regat's got some help over to Carvalho. Shot, goal! It's official. Ricardo Carvalho is back.
Another transition opportunity. Credit to Victor Pereiras. Defensively very strong there, leading the point of attack. Great ball across the field from Regat. Composed finish, top right corner from Carvalho. Second goal on the night.
Really pretty finish by Carvalho, but again, as you point out, just a great transition by the Tropics. Utica just doesn't seem to be able to keep up with the Tropics in terms of speed. And the Tropics, again, just running Utica kind of off the floor at the moment, just as they did up in Utica a couple of weekends ago.
Well, and that's another first-time finish from Ricardo again. We saw that one in the first quarter off the boards from Victor Pereiras. Now Zach Regat plays a beautiful ball into his path. He elects to shoot first time. So you love the confidence right now, because we've mentioned it in the previous games that he's one of the players that the Tropics really need to get going, and obviously tonight he has it going.
5-1, obviously tons and tons of time in this game. We haven't even come close to reaching halftime, and Utica has the firepower very much to get in it, but do they have the willpower to get back in it?
Well, yeah, you said it best, Brian. I just feel like defensively,
it just seems slow.
Yeah, very sluggish. And again, we don't know what their flight plans are. When did they get in? Did they get in late last night? Did they get in early today? I got no idea what their travel plans were, but they do look sluggish. They are giving up a tremendous amount of transition opportunities, really 3v2s, 2v1s, and I think that would be something that the head coach, Ryan Hall, needs to correct.
And high credit to Clay Roberts for a game plan here that has come out as aggressive and as transition-oriented as it's been, because we talked in the pregame about maybe a possession game where you kind of settle in and let George settle in and, make sure you don't expose them.
They're not having it. They really,
No.
since I've been around here, this is obviously the 6th season, they've really, Clay Roberts loves to get after it, get out in transition. As much as you want a lot of possession, when there's opportunities to go, take advantage of those numbers up.
It just would have been, I think, an easy approach.
I agree.
And one that, you couldn't really criticize, but you're right. Clay has always been a guy who likes to be aggressive when the opportunity calls for it. I'm just not sure. As a layperson looking at it, you would think that it called for it, but boy, he read it just perfectly. And that's why he's the only coach the Tropics have ever had, and why the Tropics over the last 2 years have the best regular season record in the MASL at 28-6. Utica looks a little inspired here, but that's an easy save off the foot of Isaac Samau.
Well, the little things a lot of the average fan won't see, but Taylor Walter Bond comes down and helps his defender, makes it a 2 versus 1 defensively. And that's the little things that people have to see and recognize. If you want to be a championship team, you really can't leave players on an island defensively.
Arico will touch it back to Vandegrift now. 3:25 to play in the half. Boy, Utica would really love one or even a couple here to try and turn the tide a little bit. Here's Enrique holding it up. Oh, he almost got by Ubi Parapovic there. Slavisa just did recover at the last second. Here's Sandoval with it.
No, this is an opportunity for me right now where I'd like to see the Tropics have more substitutions.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity to
and they're
play
starting
a
to do
little
it
possession, get some fresh legs out there. If you go to the locker room 5-1, you got to be very, very happy with that. Enrique a little bothered in the corner there by Parapovic. Ubi Parapovic. Here's Ruggles at the yellow line. Shot. Goal!
Talking about some sustained possession from the Tropics, a couple of line changes and a toe poke from beyond the yellow line. I'm not sure if it was a deflection. We've got to see it, but it was a knuckleball toe poke from Ruggles, who's had a great first half, and we'll get a replay of it, Brian.
Yeah, a 50-foot toe poke.
Yeah, I mean, it must have taken something.
What a play by Drew Ruggles. I mean, out of nowhere. A lightning bolt, and it's 6-1.
We'll get a replay.
I mean, how innocent.
Yeah, he just, dribbling down the corner, fancy footwork, plays it back, and a left-footed toe poke.
Unbelievable.
And it doesn't look like it hit anybody. It just off the post and in.
Just perfectly placed, perfectly struck.
Well, and the keeper got handcuffed there, didn't realize that he was actually winding up for the shot, so credit to Ruggles for being savvy with that toe poke.
There's Raymond with it. He'll play it back out to Obasi. Well, Ruggles had 14 goals 2 years ago when he was the MASL Defender of the Year. We have long known, and fans around the MASL have long known, that Drew Ruggles has a real offensive flair about him. He's a defensive player, but with an offensive mindset that not a lot of defenders in this league have. Pereira steps on the ball and I think fell, so Monaleras comes in to help out, and Navarrete there to clean it up. Ahead again to Vic Moraligwe. Challenged in there by Obasi. Now it'll be Sandoval. Minute 45 to go. 6-1 Florida. Wow. Did not see this coming.
No, it's been a great start for Clay Roberts and his crew. The line changes are quicker. The transition is quicker. Of course, George.
Yeah, quicker. Everything's just been quicker than Utica. That's exactly right. Everything. There's a bad giveaway by Oliveria. Trying to recover against Bordeaux. Falls down. Here's a chance and a goal. And that's just a rookie making an unfortunate mistake against a great veteran player in Nate Bordeaux.
It's a great toe poke finish from Nate Bordeaux. Yeah, you're right, though. It is a rookie mistake. Dribbling out of the back. Kind of slips on the ball. gets caught underneath him. That's going to happen, unfortunately. And to give that up with 1:26 left in the half, that one hurts a little bit. But other than that, it's been a fantastic start from the Tropics.
Here's a look at that goal as Oliveria just coughed it up. No real reason, just made an unfortunate little bobble with it out near the midfield line, and Bordeaux is not a player that will make a mistake when handed an opportunity like that. So, yeah, 6-2. And if Utica could get another one here, they certainly would put a little different shine on things as we move into the second half. Ruggles going to be called for the foul as he takes down Soma. Still 1:15 to go, so plenty of time for Utica to get another.
That'll give them a little bit of momentum going into the half with that goal. Give them some confidence because it's been a really tough start for them in all facets of the game.
Long ball into the corner. Lay off to Jake Schneider, rather. Schneider will take it back along the sideboards. Vandergriff in the corner. Reggett on the marking there. Back on top now to Obasi.
Yeah, and Obasi,
still 38 seconds to go.
He's a tricky player, Obasi. He likes this 1v1. He likes to slow the game down, use his sole of his foot.
Yelovit's going to try and get around Reggett one more time. Reggett sticks a leg in there. Bordeaux now with it. Carvalho checking him. Now Arico in the corner. Reggett and Yelovit's in there. 15 seconds to go. Still time for Utica to get an important late goal here. They've got one to cut it to a 4-goal deficit.
Well, that was good possession from Utica into the target forward, back out into the target forward. Now they've got a dangerous set piece. If they can capitalize with a goal here with 13 seconds left, it's only a 6-3 game.
Put in play to Slavica Ubi Peripovic. Chad Vandergriff with a nice job to step in front of that one. Here's a long ball into the zone. Tavernese with the header. Ruggles able to play it out of there. 4 seconds still left. Segura thought about teeing it up, and Carvalho did a nice job to not allow Christian Segura to take it on the volley. And so we have 30 minutes in the books here in Lakeland, and what an entertaining first half of soccer it was, especially if you're a fan of the Florida Tropics. It's Florida 6, Utica City 2, but that's only the half of it. The more to come sign is up. We'll be back to talk about it and get you ready for the second half in just a moment. This is MASL TV.
We are the Bond Clinic.
We are your medical services.
Comprehensive, personalized, state-of-the-art healthcare designed to serve you and your family.
We are community.
For over 70 years, the Bond Clinic physicians and our team of specialists deliver expert treatments and outstanding care. With over 90 providers, from pediatrics to diabetic care, lab services to sports medicine, we put your health first. Healthcare excellence in our community. The Bond Clinic.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Okay, so I locked my keys in my car. It could happen to anybody. Anyway, this guy shows up with this piece of metal to unlock my car. Does that thing work, I asked? Like a charm, he says. What happened next? I don't like to remember. You wouldn't believe what he did to my car.
Should have called Papa Lock. Papa Lock's friendly professionals will have your door open fast and at a price that'll make you smile. Next time, call Papa Lock.
We are the Bond Clinic.
We are your medical services.
Comprehensive, personalized, state-of-the-art healthcare designed to serve you and your family.
We are community.
For over 70 years, the Bond Clinic physicians and our team of specialists deliver expert treatments and outstanding care. With over 90 providers, from pediatrics to diabetic care, lab services to sports medicine, we put your health first. Healthcare excellence in our community. The Bond Clinic.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Okay, so I locked my keys in my car. It could happen to anybody. Anyway, this guy shows up with this piece of metal to unlock my car. Does that thing work, I asked? Like a charm, he says. What happened next? I don't like to remember. You wouldn't believe what he did to my car.
Should have called Papa Lock. Papa Lock's friendly professionals will have your door open fast and at a price that'll make you smile. Next time, call Papa Lock.
Florida, as the Florida Tropics lead Utica City FC by a score of 6-2. Robbie Aristodemo, normally if you score 6 goals and a half, we'd talk about the offense, but I think we got to start talking about George Navarrete, only his second ever start in the MASL, and he doesn't look out of place at all.
No, he doesn't. Certainly, he's made 2 fantastic saves. The rest have been pretty ordinary for, I think, the majority of keepers in this league, but 2 of them, for me, were really, really good and special, and obviously that one outlet pass that I can recall that resulted in a goal, Victor Pereira's penalty shot. So he's been phenomenal on the half. Certainly a lot of time to go, but credit to him for sticking with it, and it's a great hometown story.
And I think what is also impressive about him is he's been very comfortable with balls off the boards. He's cleaned things up in front of his own goal, almost effortless. Well, without that much effort. How's that? And the reality is that's the toughest thing for a goalkeeper in the indoor game, is to know that, to learn that, to understand that. And, boy, he just doesn't seem intimidated by that aspect at all.
No, and I think Clay Roberts is loving the fact that he's able to come in and be a real presence at the back and a confidence booster for the 2 defenders in front of him. And obviously there's a conscious effort for the Tropics to defend with numbers, 5 guys behind the ball, not allow any sort of transition opportunities. And really, when you look at that entire half, there really hasn't been a lot of chances for Utica.
Let's take a look at the highlights as the Tropics build a 6-2 lead and get on the board first on that bad giveaway that Bruno Enrique was able to cash very easily past Andrew Coughlin. It was a good start, and the Tropics really did not let up after that, although Joey Tavernese, the former Tropic star, did come back to tie things up about 2.5 minutes after that giveaway, and we'll take a look at the Tavernese goal here. Kind of a build forward. Oh, well, nope, sorry, we thought we had that replay, but apparently we do not. Sorry about that. Anyway, Tavernese tied things up at 4:58 of the first with his goal, and then it was all Tropics. 5 unanswered, starting with the first of 2 by Ricardo Carvalho. That came at the 6:11 mark of the first. Taylor Walter Bond at 7:59 made it 3-1. Florida was off and running at that point. Victor Pereiras gets the shootout goal on the play that you mentioned, Robbie, when Vicmore Eligwe actually took the long lead pass from Navarrete, was ahead of the field, was taken down on a breakaway, and so the shootout ensued. Victor Pereiras converts, and that made it 4-1. At 10:42, Ricardo Carvalho, his second, a really, really pretty finish, as Ricardo now has 3 in his last 2 games after not scoring at all in the first 3, and that made it 5-1. And then 6-1 on a goal by Drew Ruggles, just out of nothing from 50 feet away, a left foot toe poke that just snuck inside the far post. He saw the space, saw the angle, and was able to get it past Coughlin. And then we'll see how important the goal was, but Utica City at least with the opportunity to feel a little bit better about itself, getting a goal with just about a minute and a half to go from Nate Bordeaux on, unfortunately, a bad giveaway out near the midfield line by a guy that I think has got a chance to be a good player in this league, in Breno Oliveria. Didn't take a lot of shifts in that first half, and just coughed it up without a lot of pressure being put on by Nate, and Bordeaux did not make a mistake as he cruised in on the left wing and was able to beat Navarrete. So 6-2 the final, the halftime score rather. And Robbie, we were a little surprised how aggressive the Tropics came out. This is not a game, as you well know, where you can kind of sit back. There's the goal and the celebration kiss by Victor Pereras. We'll assume that's his wife. Down there. If not, we hope she's maybe out doing some post-Christmas shopping. And but a nice way to celebrate is Victor just really effortless here on the shootout goal to make it 4-1, and then the Tropics pouring it on. Here's that great finish by Ricardo Carvalho on the assist by Zach Reggett, and then the really pretty one by Drew Ruggles here.
Yeah, this one I think Drew Ruggles just kind of put everyone to sleep, including the keeper. You know, with the toe poke, it's a short windup, so oftentimes keepers don't realize that you're taking that shot, and it kind of froze everybody.
Yeah, and there was that giveaway by Oliveria, and the finish by Bordeaux. Not much that George could do on that one, certainly, but all in all, a very good half for the Tropics. I think if you'd have said, hey, we'll go in leading 6-2 at intermission, they would absolutely take that. Shots on goal, by the way, in the first half, just to give you an idea, Florida with 14, Utica with 13, so it's been fairly even, although I think it's pretty fair to say that Florida has definitely had the better of the play. If you're Coach Ryan Hall, what are you asking for? More effort, more?
Yeah, more everything.
Yeah, I guess more everything. Yeah. Effort's never good. I mean, players are always trying hard, but
yeah, I think you know, from our angle up here, it's just a lot of transition opportunities for the Tropics. Numbers up. You know, we're getting a lot of 2v1s, 3v2s, 4v3s. I think in general, Utica's just not defending with 5, and I think they're relying on 2 or 3 defenders as opposed to having 5 guys behind the ball, pressure cover, forcing things down the line, and making it a little bit more difficult on Tropics, because right now the Tropics are getting some opportunities without really having to do too much. It's just it seems like it's coming very easy for the Tropics in those transition moments. So if I'm Ryan Hall, I'm kind of screaming at the top of my lungs at halftime saying, listen, you guys got to get yourself behind the ball, and let's see if we can fight our way back into this game. And offensively, they've got to do a little bit better job of moving the ball a little bit quicker. They seem to be a bit stagnant because they've got some really good technical players that like to hold on to the ball maybe a little bit too long. I think that's allowing the Tropics to get 5 players behind the ball, and it's probably limiting some of their opportunities in the attacking third. So I'd like to see them speed up the tempo a little bit in the offensive half.
Yeah, they seem to do that for a brief moment there after one of the Tropics. I think it was their 5th or 6th goal in a timeout that Ryan Hall kind of lit the fire for a minute. Taking a look at some of the MASL standings right now in the Central, Kansas City on top now with a 5-0 mark. These are a couple of not updated from this weekend. We can tell you that Dallas, by the way, playing in Milwaukee, their 3rd game in 4 days. They're leading the Milwaukee Wave midway through the 4th quarter 7-5, and that's an interesting game because Milwaukee was trailing 7-2 in the 4th quarter, and they went to a 6th attacker with about 13 minutes to play in that game and have scored 3 unanswered. So with about half the 4th quarter to play, they have pulled to within 7-5 against Dallas, looking to shock the league again. San Diego and Ontario will finish a trifecta of games in the MASL this afternoon. They will kick things off out in San Diego. That is an 8 o'clock start Eastern, 5 out in San Diego, and that should be a lot of fun because that is the rematch of the MASL Finals from the 2021 season. Of course, San Diego knocking Florida out of the playoffs last year. So Florida's record actually is 3-1. We got that updated, and Utica's at 2-2. They have 6 points. So in a way, technically, this is a battle for first place. The two teams would be tied for first with 9 points each. New this year in the MASL is the points system, no longer a one-loss record or a winning percentage situation like they had last year during the COVID-shortened season. So it's all based on points this year, and that is something that fans will have to get used to, and broadcasters as well. The Tropics with 9 points. You get 3 points for a regulation win. You get 2 points for an overtime win. You get 1 point if you are a loser in overtime, and, of course, no points if you lose in regulation. Third quarter kickoff coming up in just a moment. It's the Florida Tropics 6, Utica City 2. This is MASL TV.
We are the Bond Clinic.
We are your medical services.
Comprehensive, personalized, state-of-the-art healthcare designed to serve you and your family.
We are community.
For over 70 years, the Bond Clinic physicians and our team of specialists deliver expert treatments and outstanding care. With over 90 providers, from pediatrics to diabetic care, lab services to sports medicine, we put your health first. Healthcare excellence in our community. The Bond Clinic.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Okay, so I locked my keys in my car. It could happen to anybody. Anyway, this guy shows up with this piece of metal to unlock my car. Does that thing work, I asked? Like a charm, he says. What happened next? I don't like to remember. You wouldn't believe what he did to my car.
Should have called Papa Lock. Papa Lock's friendly professionals will have your door open fast and at a price that'll make you smile. Next time, call Papa Lock.
It's Florida 6, Utica City 2 as we get ready to start the third quarter. The official match ball of the MASL is designed and produced by Flight. Expertly designed for the indoor game, Flight is the premier partner of choice. Flight, challenge everything. Andrew Coughlin would be very happy if he saw a few less Flight balls coming his way in the third and fourth quarter, after the Tropics put up a 6 spot here over the first 30 minutes, but lots of soccer to go. And
well, we know Utica City has some offensive firepower, a lot of technical players, good with both feet. We know we have a few sharpshooters as well in Utica City, so this game certainly has a lot left in it.
No question about that. See if the Utica side comes out with some of that aggression they started to show late in the second quarter as Carvalho is knocked to the turf here.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a nasty collision to his lower back. I mean, I don't think there was much in it, but he still got a nice knee to his lower back. It's not going to feel good.
Well, and if you land awkwardly on this
concrete,
concrete below the AstroTurf surface, which is not very forgiving, so Nick Olgi going to actually come out and take a look at Carvalho, who has been terrific, really stepped his game up in the back end of that doubleheader against Ontario on December 19th and has continued his good play here with a couple of goals this afternoon.
And it takes a guy like him, again, you're not going to be on fire every single game. And you get a couple goals, get some confidence. He's a set piece specialist. He's going to be good on man up situations and on set pieces. And obviously tonight on the transition opportunities, he's been phenomenal with his first-time finishes.
So Drew Ruggles will put it in play here. Or it actually might be Chad Vandergriff. Ruggles then touches it down to Zach Reggett, who can't come up with it, but Taylor Walter Bond thought about something there on the volley, but sends it halfway to Frostproof.
He's always up for the phenomenal finish. Taylor Walter Bond trying a full volley with his left foot. Worth a shot.
Frostproof, for our friends up in Utica, is a real city here in Florida. And it was not frosty there today. It was 85 on the car thermometer when I drove in from not too far from Frostproof, actually. Here's Reggett over to Taylor Walter Bond. Just a little behind him. Now a nice ball off to Pereira. Shot, and he misses on the short side. Tried to pick the near post upper 40 there. And
yeah, it's the second one he's going to want back. The one in the second quarter where he came on the inside and hit it far. And then just there, again, just whiffing it a little bit. But you like the ball from Taylor Walter Bond. Nice composed pass into Victor Pereira's path.
Coughlin will drive it down to Moises Gonzalez, who's been quiet here. The Utica City leading goal scorer has it taken away. Enrico quickly back. He's got Bruno Enrique with him. Gets it over to Enrique. Shot, and that one again is off frame by a lot. Well, bouncing ball to Enrique, and that was a little unfortunate.
It was unfortunate. It was bobbling, but you like the opportunity from Enrico making an end-to-end run, which he's kind of famous for. He goes from one to the other. He's got a lot of energy. And, we haven't called his name too much tonight, which sometimes is a good thing because he hasn't done anything crazy defensively. Typically he's got a blue card in him every other game or so, but he's had a really good, solid defensive game today, and that was a fantastic pass.
Energizer Bunny, he plays with a lot of heart and emotion and energy every time he's out there on the floor, no question. Here's Slavica Ubi Parapovic. Leaves it off for Ben Raymond.
And as Enrico gets a little bit older as well, he certainly already has a lot of experience in the game, but when to make that tackle, when to draw those fouls, and he's been much better in terms of that composure.
He has been, over the last year or two, no question. He is still aggressive and still will take the occasional blue card, that's for sure, as Enrique is back, doesn't really have any help. Will push it into some open space, creates a shot, and that one Coughlin will have to just play back to midfield, so at least the Tropics retain possession on the good effort by Enrique. Over to Sandoval. Sandoval pushes forward, shot, and Coughlin makes a good save as Sandoval had that one ticketed for the far post. That one rolls across the top of the woodwork, but nobody there for the Tropics is Enrique again on Ubi Parapovic. Giveaway, and Carvalho has it.
Yeah, you said it best right there. Another giveaway. Just can't get out of their defensive third, Utica City.
Ricardinho with it, loses it. Enrique can't get a foot in there that time. Enrique going to need to head to the bench, I think, here on a line change, as Samal pushes forward, has his path cut off by Monaleras.
Well, he needs to sub a little bit. Obviously, he's newer to the indoor game, but I think his amount of time on the pitches is a little bit too long. And he's going to realize that as the game continues to grow.
And he has gotten to the bench. Here's Tavernese with a shot. Navarrete gets big and makes the save on Joey Tavernese. Joey knows George very well from his time with the Tropics, no question about that. And that's Hugo Silva trick. Just make yourself big, get the right angle, and let the shooter just kind of shoot it into your body, and that's what Joey ended up doing right there. Coughlin with it. Schindler. Now back to Joey. Schindler will head to the bench on a line change. Avasi being watched by Aligwe. Segura now with the Platinum Dew. There's Raymond, turns and fires wide. Yelovitz will play it back out to Obasi. Bo Yelovitz on believe, should have double-checked this before the game, but I believe he's actually on loan to Utica this year from Rochester. The Lancers unable to find an arena to play in this year, unfortunately. So the Lancers hopefully will be back with Soccer Sam and the gang in the next MASL season.
I certainly want them back into the league. You know,
Yep.
they bring a good fan base. You know, I was always a big fan of the Rochester Raging Rhinos of the USL. We had a lot of battles in the outdoor game, and you know, they used to draw 10, 15,000 fans.
Old Frontier Field. Well, it's not old, but yeah. Here's the ball ahead to Ruggles. Ruggles in the corner. Had Reggett in front. Couldn't get it to him. Ruggles with the steal again. Some fancy footwork. Does try and get it to Reggett, and nobody back post as Coughlin misplays another one. And boy, that would have been, I could have tapped that one in. Here's Reggett. Tried to turn, didn't get a chance though. Now Bordeaux going to track it down at midfield. Oliverio cut him off. Yeah, good to have Soccer Sam back hopefully next year with the Lancers. They really started to play very well at the end of the season. Biggest problem is the Dome arena was used for a long time as a COVID site, testing and vaccinations. So
Great block from Enrico.
They just did not really have a venue in which to play. So, yeah, Anthony Enrico, equally good as defense or midfield, and Clay Roberts will play him in either spot.
Well, you know, that midfield position with Enrico, you got a Lucio Gonzaga, he's not playing tonight. You got Ricardinho, Victor Perez. That's a critical component to any team's heartbeat of your squad, and Enrico, he plays that part perfectly. And another top of the box, I think. Right now, Utica City FC, you know, Coughlin, he's really struggling with his distribution. He's made a couple of nice saves.
Yeah, that's not the first time that's happened. You're right. Yeah. And the Tropics have not made him pay yet, so let's see. I mean, law of averages, if nothing else, would tell you they're going to get a restart from the top of the arc or corner kick goal at some point. Pereiras, and again, a block.
But again, not enough deception in that play. I think it was an easy read on Utica City.
Reggett being double-teamed over there and finally loses it as both Bordeaux and Raymond were in there. Pereira's going to track it down in front of an old friend and Joey Tavernese. Didn't get a chance to say hello to Joey before the game, but we'll try and do so afterwards or next Sunday when Utica right back here at the RP Funding Center for what will be the third of 5 meetings between these two teams in the 2021-22 season. The final 2 will be in Utica in what is a brutal month of March for the Tropics. They are in the midst of a 9-game homestand right now, 1-1 after that split with Ontario. They've got the Harrisburg Heat coming in for a couple, the suddenly rejuvenated Dallas Sidekicks, and there's another one sent out of play by Coughlin. So again,
he's struggling with distribution, and sometimes that does happen. Once you have one that goes for the top of the box, all of a sudden you've got 3 or 4. But I'd like to see the Tropics spacing a little bit better just on this top of the arc.
Pereiras down to Carvalho, and a good save by Coughlin as he pinned that up against the boards. That was a better executed opportunity there as Pereiras sends it ahead. 2-on-1 here, Manolares with a shot, and he just misses at far post. Used Carvalho as a dummy to his right. Not a bad idea, and he didn't miss by more than about a foot. Now here comes Utica City back. Yelovitz with a big shot. Puts it in front. Nice ball to Raymond. And an easy goal by Ben Raymond, and it's 6-3. Utica gets the first goal here of the third.
Well, I think the Tropics, again, you're getting caught on a line change, but opportunity for Montelares just misses the left side, and oftentimes when it's easy one way, it becomes easy the other way, and obviously that's what happened. The Tropics committed a lot of numbers forward, but you love the back porch slip, looks like through the legs of Drew Ruggles. Nice, easy tap-in for Ben.
Yeah, Manolares had made that run deep into the offensive third, and then was just a step or two
that's a big
behind
goal.
Defensively. Yeah, it is. Utica's definitely in this ball game. I mean, they were down 6-1. They've scored the last 2. Tropics kind of need one here to get some momentum back in their side of the ledger, and they've had some restart opportunities. Here's Enrique with it. Bruno looking for some space, being pushed off the ball by Bordeaux. Enrique, though, going to keep on it. Now it's Sandoval. Here's Vandergrift with a turn. Couldn't get much on it, and Taylor Walter Bond will track it down all the way back in the midfield area.
Yeah.
We talk about the Dallas sidekicks coming in. There's a collision. Coughlin going to come out as Taylor Walter Bond creating some, or rather Chad Vandergriff creating some havoc. Oh, just off the foot of Vicmore Aligwe, who was wide open on the left wing.
Oh, it's a great ball across the pitch from Chad Vandergriff. I love the idea. Just a bad first touch from it.
Aligwe trying to set a man up in front. Here's Samau back the other way. Samau plays it off the boards, and Navarrete able to grab that one.
Tropics have to be careful because this is a second transition opportunity that they've given up. I think they're kind of, at this point, the balance when they attack has to be a little bit sharper. You know, again, everyone wants to score, but at the same time, you've got to have balance when you attack to not leave those opportunities for Utica City.
Ricardinho with it at the center line. Sandoval being watched by Tavernese. Oliveria will play it in, but right there is Obasi. Ricardinho picks it up at the center circle, ahead to Kyle Williams. Williams taken down from behind, and the foul is called. Giveaway by Sandoval. There's a long ball by Segura. Good idea, and Navarrete was off his line. Here's the distribution to Ricardinho. 3-on-3. Ricardinho being watched by Tavernese. Takes it into the corner. Coughlin with a save. Williams tried to set up Eligwe and couldn't. 6.5 to go. Third quarter. 6-3 as Ricardinho makes the steal. Ricardinho again into the corner. Off the boards as Eligwe was running through the box, but Coughlin played that one well.
Yeah, that was a nice save off the boards. Read it perfectly. Nice distribution as well. Utica City just starting to find their way into this game. A little bit more momentum. Tempo seems to be a little bit higher as well. Of course, I'm sure Coach Ryan Hall got laid into him a little bit at halftime because it was a really poor performance. And as poor as it was, they're only down 3 goals.
Slavisa Ubi Parapovic with it. Played it over to Raymond and right back to Slavisa. Segura being watched by Eligwe. 5:39 to play, third quarter. Yelovitz trying to set up camp in front of George Navarrete. Breno Oliveria with a tough assignment there. Kyle Williams will track that loose ball down. Plays it over to Oliveria now. Oliveria ahead for Pereiras to Reggett.
Yeah, we haven't called Reggett's name. I mean,
Nope,
he did have
kind of quiet.
Yeah, he's been a little bit quiet. Beautiful assist to Carvalho in the second quarter, but he's been a bit quiet on the offensive end. Hasn't had a ton of opportunities.
Ruggles with it. Ruggles, oh, just in front of Carvalho, and he was a half a step too late.
That's the back post tap in that you've got to anticipate. What a fantastic ball from Ruggles. Spins and hits it far post. Carvalho just inches, misses it.
Zach Reggett with it, off to Ruggles. Ruggles again from distance, this one off the mark. Back to Carvalho, save, rebound, go!
Well, you love the little dance, but a bad giveaway from Utica City, and great save initially, but easy tap in, hat trick on the day for one of their top performers on the night.
So it's the Tropics' turn to take advantage of a little sloppiness on Utica City's part, and it's 7-3 now with 4:35 to go, and Ricardo Carvalho has the hat trick.
Well, and if we can get a replay of it, it looks like just a simple, a Ruggles shot off the boards, a bad back pass, great reaction save initially, rebound right to Carvalho's path, inside of the foot finish, composed, easy as it gets for him.
Yeah, Raymond with the header that didn't have quite enough steam on it to get all the way back to Coughlin, and Carvalho lurking there at the top of the box, able to take advantage. So it's 7-3 as Ryan Hall wants to talk things over. Mentioned that Dallas will be in for a pair in the middle of January. How about the Dallas Sidekicks? They've just now won 3 in a row, 3 in the last 4 days. They beat St. Louis down in Dallas. I think that was Wednesday night. Had a real nice crowd down in Dallas. for the debut of Ricardinho as their interim coach and maybe soon to be full-time coach. They beat St. Louis there and then came back and throttled St. Louis the day later on New Year's Eve in St. Louis, 8-3. That was on Friday. Today they're up in Milwaukee, and it is over at the UW Panther Arena, and the Dallas Sidekicks have won 3 in a row.
Wow.
7-5 the final for the Sidekicks. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and you don't hear that too often from the Sidekicks. I mean, they've been a storied franchise, but struggled as of late. Never really been a major player in terms of a huge threat, but credit to them for winning 3 straight.
And I'll be perfectly honest, you know, you're looking at the schedule, you're looking at the homestand, and I'm a fan first and foremost, so I do what all fans do, and you go, well, that's a win, that's a win,
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably a loss, that's a win. And Dallas, I had in the win column a couple of times, and might have to rethink that. That is impressive work by the Dallas Sidekicks.
Yeah, I would agree. And Ricardinho is a longtime veteran of the indoor game. I played with him a little bit. He certainly has a lot of savvy. And, you know, again, if they're bringing back some veterans and maybe everything, all the stars are aligning up to this point.
Nice move by Obasi. Then Rico able to recover.
Not sure
Wanted
why.
a foul call.
Oh,
and now I think Anthony may have just gotten a yellow card. We were just talking about
the maturity and the you know,
and
experience.
He can't help his team in the box, but I think that's where Anthony's heading.
But, you know, without seeing a replay, it did look like a clumsy challenge, and I think he's got a bit of a gripe because he felt like he was undercut. It did look like a foul. He was hoping for a blue card. Obviously, he had some words with the head referee, and he had enough and said, listen, you know, we can't have that type of talk and have a seat in the bench for 5 minutes.
So no power play, of course, for Utica. Just 5 minutes off the floor for Anthony Arico.
And, you know, again, for the indoor fans, it's not a huge deal because all Clay Roberts does is now instead of having 3-4 of that position, you just have Victor Perez and Ricardinho swapping back and forth. So no harm done in terms of that goes.
Shortens the bench just a little bit, but...
And sometimes, to be honest with you, you know, when I was a player in some of those bigger games, you know, the bench was very short in the second half of every game.
Anyway, right.
Yeah, you're going with,
right.
you know, 2 players per position. You're going with your top 10.
Navarrete with a sky ball here, looking for Enrique. Tried to get it ahead to Taylor Walter Bond. That was definitely a planned play, if you will, and almost pulled off by the Tropics there. Here's Coughlin clearing it out. Ricardinho.
And I would say for Coughlin, I just, you know, been a bit off.
He just doesn't look confident in when he gets the ball, what he wants to do with it. And some of that may be, you know, he's got to rely on his guys to get open and become targets for distribution, and you know, doesn't always fall on the goalie. Challenge there at the midfield line, but the Tropics will retain possession. 3:17 to go, third quarter. 7-3 Tropics. Navarrete again looking to set up Enrique, and he's going to get a second chance as it rebounds all the way down to George. Again, the rainbow ball to Enrique, knocked away and picked up in there by Bordeaux. Yelovitz with it. Yelovitz being watched by Vandergrift. Good play by the veteran Chad Vandergrift, who came over from the Milwaukee Wave as a free agent. Pereira's on the run back. Over to Kyle Williams, looking back post, and Enrique couldn't quite collect it and get the scoring chance.
Yeah, it starts with Victor Perez, makes a good decision to go right. Kyle Williams elects to go far post. And again, as an indoor team, going far post and getting some of those easy tap-ins, you know, that's a good sign of a savvy, veteran, experienced indoor squad. And I like the look from Kyle Williams there.
Yeah, well executed, well thought out, and just couldn't quite get the finish from Bruno Enrique. Here comes Ubi Parapovic, has Tavernisi ahead of the field. Joey chips it in front, and possession to Patrick Thompson, and he sends it through the box. Thompson was hoping to get a second chance there as Eligwe is pushed down, no foul. Good hustle by Vickmore nonetheless. Obasi will come back the other way for Utica. Ruggles watching him out near the yellow line. Obasi to the left foot. Comes on top to Thompson.
Obasi, very skillful for a big man. He really likes to go at guys. Credit to him. It's great to see. He's got good, clean footwork, and Tropics have done a good job on the day so far.
Navarrete covers up with some help from Lucas Monaleras there. Reggett, he'll keep his feet. Had Carvalho ahead of the field by maybe a step and a half, but couldn't quite get it to him. So the Tropics will control here. Ahead to Reggett. Can't knock it down. Ricardinho will play it back to Ruggles, who will send it all the way back to George Navarrete. Navarrete inside the final minute now is Ricardinho. Thought he had some help on the left side, did not. Going to challenge Coughlin again. He gets it away to Raymond. And now again, almost a steal is Reggett. They wanted the two-touch on the goalkeeper rule, but the ball had been played by the Tropics or touched by the Tropics, and that negates the distribution rule. So it was able to go back to Coughlin without the infraction. Reggett. Had Carvalho in front. And Reggett going to be called for the takedown with 32 seconds to go.
Yeah, no, I do like the new rule change. If the intention is to try to speed up things and not go backwards as much, I certainly get that. The jury's still out, but so far it's been a nice rule change. And oftentimes, when a team like a Milwaukee Wave, back when I used to play, it was very, very difficult to dispossess them because they continued to have their line changes and start back with the keeper. So I do like that rule change from the MASL.
I think it was the Milwaukee New Year's Eve game, and I think it was Augie Ray in goal, and he let one go, actually roll all the way off the post because he couldn't play it with his foot, and he walked it and watched it roll all the way off the post. That's how close it was. And so it does create some interesting moments, but I think for the most part it does exactly what the league wants it to do. Is a long ball in, and Navarrete is able to knock it away from Tavernisi at the horn to end the third quarter. So just a goal each, one for Utica, one for the Tropics, and they maintain their 4-goal advantage as we head to the final 15 minutes here in Lakeland. It's the Florida Tropics 7, Utica 3. Back with the finale in just a moment on MASL TV.
We are the Bond Clinic.
We are your medical services.
Comprehensive, personalized, state-of-the-art healthcare designed to serve you and your family.
We are community.
For over 70 years, the Bond Clinic physicians and our team of specialists deliver expert treatments and outstanding care. With over 90 providers, from pediatrics to diabetic care, lab services to sports medicine, we put your health first. Healthcare excellence in our community. The Bond Clinic.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play. And score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Okay, so I locked my keys in my car. It could happen to anybody. Anyway, this guy shows up with this piece of metal to unlock my car. Does that thing work, I asked? Like a charm, he says. What happened next? I don't like to remember. You wouldn't believe what he did to my car.
Should have called Papa Lock. Papa Lock's friendly professionals will have your door open fast and at a price that'll make you smile. Next time, call Papa Lock.
MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, standings, and in-depth features. Bookmark the page now so you don't miss a note. That's MASLsoccer.com. Lots of great content on that site with Michael Lewis and his great soccer knowledge and expertise. MASL Midweek, a new interview feature. Of course, Alex B. with MASL Prime Time. So check it all out at MASLsoccer.com. Ready to go here, starting the fourth period. And we apologize for our score bug saying it's the third. It's not true. It's a fourth period here, but it's we're unable to actually change that. So you know it, we know it. It's the fourth period, and nobody knows it better than Utica City right now because they are chasing 4 here in the final 15 minutes. Oliveria gets it ahead to Reggett. Reggett will loft it deep into the corner. Walter Bond going to make a run after it. Coughlin comes out. Oliveria, nice little header to Pereiras. And that one is touched a little too hard over to Walter Bond. It goes out of play.
Well, this is an interesting score line as well. When it's 7-3, you're up 4 goals. You know, we just saw this in Milwaukee where you pull the goalie a lot earlier than normally you'd see. But that might be a tactic that Ryan Hall might employ earlier in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. You're right. It was 7-2 in Milwaukee just a minute into the fourth quarter, and the Wave went to the sixth attacker with about 13 minutes to go,
exactly.
and actually scored 3 times to pull within 7-5 midway, and still had over 7 minutes to go, but did not score again.
Well, and it can certainly disrupt the defensive tactics from Clay Roberts. You've now got to deal with that extra man going forward, and sometimes that can give a little bit of a confidence boost for Utica City. So, you know, if it's me and I'm down 4 goals, we really haven't seen Utica City develop a ton of scoring opportunities, and maybe an opportunity for them to think about that.
Vitale is called for the push. Oliveria going to lay it off to Ricardinho. Ricardinho takes the shot, blocked easily in there by Tavernese. Oliveria over to Ricardinho now. Ricardinho down in the corner to Enrique. Enrique back out to Breno. Breno Oliveria. Like to atone for that miscue in the third quarter. Enrique, top of the arc, off to Ruggles, still fighting in there. And finally Coughlin takes it off the line as Ruggles almost did knock it in. Boy, that was close to number 8. Here's Obasi back the other way. Now he'll pull it back, and both teams want to make a line change here.
Yeah, that was a nice little give-and-go play with Ruggles and Enrique.
Ball ahead to Bordeaux, and then it's cleared out of there by Oliveria, and this will be, again, a top-of-the-arc restart. So Oliveria did not mean to put it out of play, certainly, but...
Well, and he's, you know, again, he's a promising young player. He's done well. There's a few mistakes, but that's bound to happen.
Here's Segura, and that one deflects a couple of times towards goal and eventually goes wide. Enrique in there. Enrique, there's one on the short side that goes wide. Segura, oh, there's a good play by Oliveria, so he knocks it away from Segura, who looked like he was going to walk in and score. Navarrete with a good save there. Back on top. Good block in there, that time by Ricardinho. Now Kyle Williams will settle things. He's got a little space. Williams pushes it ahead to Pereiras. Pereiras moving in on goal. Shot, and Coughlin makes the save.
Wow.
Just enough pressure from behind by Obasi. And Pereiras perhaps had to pull the trigger just a bit quicker than he wanted. That might have been a backbreaker. Here's Carvalho with a shot. He's got his own rebound. Goal!
Wow, Carvalho, we talk about we needed more from him in the Ontario Fury back-to-back series. And he's saying, well, here you go. Here's 4 goals on the night. He starts an interesting volley off the wall. A great ball in from Ruggles. Gets his own block shot and hits a nice, easy inside of the foot composed finish. But lethal on the night. Congratulations, 4 goals. That's never an easy task.
Yeah, that was a funky strike off the off the wall, and then give Pereira's credit. He knocked it away from Bordeaux, and Carvalho was right there for his 4th of the night. I don't know if Ricardo's wife is here or not, but hey, maybe Victor's wife could give him a peck on the cheek for 4 goals at least, right?
Well, and I think Victor, I'm hoping Victor gets credit with that. I would think his 2nd assist of the night, but that was a good savvy heads-up veteran play to just knock it in Ricardo's path. And once he gets close to that goal, he's a clinical finisher.
So 12 minutes even actually left here in the ball game, 4th quarter. 8-3 now Tropics, and yeah, if Ryan Hall is thinking about a 6th attacker, you might want to consider it sooner rather than later. Don't see anybody over on the bench with that 6th attacker jersey on, but could be a strategy at some point. Anthony Arrico back out there. Obasi down in the corner to Segura, and that will roll right through to Navarrete. I know George has got some fans here today from nearby Plant City. He had his own fan club for the outdoor season this past year, and I'll tell you, Robbie, when it became very apparent how much confidence the Tropics would have in George, it was the round of 16 in the national playoffs in the UPSL. The Tropics were in penalty kicks. They were down 3-2 going into the 4th round, and George stopped the 4th and the 5th penalty kicks, and the Tropics scored on both to pull out the penalty kick win to advance to the national quarterfinals. And I think that game, as much as any, cemented George Navarrete's role with this team and the confidence that his teammates have in him. As Sandoval comes back the other way, trying to get it through to Reggett. Little spinorama in the box, no foul called.
No, he's been very good on the day. I like his distribution out of the back. He's had some really good throws as well to create that attacking 3rd option in the transition. And he's had some point-blank saves, which I think is his specialty. And by surprise for me, he's been really good at reading the angles off the boards. So credit to him. He's had a phenomenal 3.5 quarters.
Yeah, I think the biggest compliment you can pay him is he looks like he belongs. He just has not been overwhelmed by the moment, has not let himself be in awe of a very good Utica side. Here's a nice play by Bordeaux, and that one will be knocked away by Ricardinho. It's been a good defensive effort in front of him for sure, as it's still loose in there. Comes back now to Thompson. Thompson over to Raymond rather, and Raymond pushes with Kyle Williams, and Raymond going to keep possession there. Inside 10 minutes to go, 4th quarter. 8-3 Florida, looking to improve to 4-1 on the season. There's a little takeaway by Sandoval, and he'll just play it forward.
Well, it looks like the Tropics are gassed, except for Chad Vandergrift.
Yeah,
he's got energy for days.
He's been all over the floor here today, no question about that. He's been very good. Navarrete plays it ahead. Careful here now. Ball ahead to Gonzalez, and the dangerous Gonzalez couldn't really tee it up. Been kind of that afternoon for Utica. Again, they've been just kind of a half step slow here this afternoon. It was kind of the case up in Utica on the 5th of December, and it's been the case kind of so far here this afternoon, as the 4-goal man is taken down at the top of the yard.
Well,
Joey Tavernese and Ricardo Carvalho, teammates for the last 2 years, exchanging smiles on that call.
A good opportunity for the Tropics here with basically at top of the box. I'd like to see Ricardo start a little bit lower with where he is, because the higher you are, it allows the end of the wall to get out and block that shot. But if you're a little bit past the wall, you have an opportunity to get a shot on target quicker.
And the Tropics will actually spend a timeout here to.
And a lot of it, again, a lot of the better teams that I've played with top of the box and power play situations, dead ball situations. Of course, it takes hours and hours of practice, because a lot of goals in the indoor game do come off of power plays and set pieces. But a lot of it is just keeping it a little bit simpler. But it's where you line up in relation to where that front 3 wall is. And as I just said, I'd like to see Ricardo Carvalho just start a little bit lower, so when he gets his shot off, it's a little bit further away from the wall, so they can't come out and block that shot.
Well, he's out there. We'll see if he can make it a 5-goal
Love
game.
to see it.
Yeah, it would be fun. Hey, Advent Health and Bond Clinic are forming an affiliation that will bring greater access to primary care and specialty options to Polk County residents with a common goal of providing whole-person care that is easy to navigate and convenient for all patients. Bond Clinic has been a leader in value-based healthcare in Polk County for more than 70 years, and today has more than 90 specialty providers and practices that span the county, including in Winter Haven, Lakeland, Davenport, and Lake Wales. Advent Health was recently named the #1 hospital in the Orlando metro area by U.S. News & World Report, and Newsweek has named the hospital system as one of the world's best. So congratulations to Bond Clinic and Advent Health on their affiliation now. Of course, Bond Clinic, the primary sponsor of the Tropics ever since they joined the league back in 2016 and 17. So it's Reggett on the ball. He's got Ruggles and Carvalho to his right. Now Ruggles will step in, leaves it off to Pereira. They wanted the old double touch there, and the angle never quite worked. So saw Carvalho score on one of those last year. Here's Pereira down to Reggett, turns, fires. Good defensive play by Vitale there as he got a leg in the way. Tropics will slow things down here with 8:42 to go and a 5-goal cushion. Don't want to go into a defensive, prevent defense, but perhaps take a less or two of a chance if the situation arises, and just play that possession and clock.
Well, it looked like Monteleras and Ruggles were just going back and forth. It was almost like Xavi and Iniesta for Barcelona back in the day. Back and forth, one-touch football. Good to see.
Giveaway there by Monteleras. Pereira's trying to recover, and he takes Thompson down and is called on the trip.
I think Coach Ryan Hall has got to be thinking, well, what can we do to get back in this game? We're down 5 goals. As we talked to it, maybe an opportunity to get that 6 attacker now and see if you can't sneak a couple back in.
Bordeaux is battling along the boards, taken down by Enrique. Yeah, you'd think again with a guy who's only played 75 total minutes in the MASL before today in goal, a 6th attacker could create a lot of havoc and opportunities, you would think that would be something that is in the well there for Utica City, but they haven't gone to it yet. Is Arico. He's got Enrique with him. Anthony off the boards. Enrique couldn't quite read the angle there, and Segura will come up with it. Pressure by Enrique now. And I don't see anybody on the Utica bench that's going for the 6th attacker jersey or looking for a 6th attacker jersey, so if it's coming, it's not imminent by any stretch. Navarrete with it. Going to be intercepted by Ubi Parapovic, but then taken right back by Walter Bond. Bond is pushed down. There's the foul. These two teams will battle again next Sunday here at the RP Funding Center. 3 o'clock start on MASL TV, which is now available for the Tropics games, at least at home, on DirecTV, AT&T Uverse, Verizon Fios cable. If you're a DirecTV subscriber, you can catch all the Florida Tropics games on channel 623. And I know my brother's watching on the AT&T Uverse cable up in Palm Coast this afternoon. So welcome into all those viewers on the FTF for the Fans Network. Here is Bordeaux trying to create a counter. Utica has just over 7 minutes to get 5 goals. And maybe Ryan Hall is just going to say, we're not going this 6th attacker, because just no indication at all on the bench that that's even in play here. Here's a give off to Oliveria. Nice little ball over to Enrique. Shot, go! Boy, that's a pretty one.
Wow, you got to love that goal, because there's 3 players involved with a back post happen, but it starts with a nutmeg pass, back post. Taylor Walter Bond looks like a header. And again, another easy finish in that back post. He made it look easy anyway. But Enrique with a nice pass, unselfish play, 9-3.
Yeah, that's unselfish all the way, and you're right. That's Breno Oliveria that started it with that pretty little ball.
Right there, the nutmeg, back post pass. Taylor Walter ball with a headed finish. Yep, you love to see that.
Pretty stuff. And that's two of the young guys for the Tropics. Enrique in his second season. He was an all-MASL rookie pick last year. And Breno Oliveria, pretty sure that's his first point in the MASL. And that will take a little sting out of the turnover that turned into a Nate Bordeaux goal in the third quarter.
Well, this game looks well in hand at 9-3.
Yeah, I'm just really surprised. I don't know if just the Tropics match up that well against Utica, that Utica is still trying to shake rust off from not having played in 20 months. I'm just not sure. I'm at a loss to tell you why the Tropics have handled them so easily now in 2 games so far this year.
Yeah, and sometimes it is a matchup situation where, when you watch the Ontario Fury game, that it was a difficult matchup for them because they're a very long-spelled possession-type team, very, very target-heavy, obviously, with Frank Tayu. Again, they were a difficult team to play against, and that matchup wasn't certainly like it is today. And I think right now, for whatever reason, the Tropics are well in hand.
Here's Slavisa Ubi-Peripovic in front. I mean, what a storyline. George Navarrete, unless there's some kind of just colossal collapse, will get the win. Kyle Williams, again, faster than the Utica defense, and finally at the last second, Ben Raymond able to recover just enough and break up that opportunity. But again, the Tropics have just been quicker.
Yep.
As you point out, in everything.
Yeah, everything.
And it's just been noticeable all game long, and I don't know, it's not like Utica shouldn't have fresh legs, or the Tropics, of course. Neither have played for a couple of weeks because the MASL was off for the Christmas holiday weekend. So that really shouldn't be a huge factor, as Pereiras, with just over 5 minutes to go, brings it into the corner, has it knocked away by Tavernese. Counter attack here for Utica City, ahead to Bordeaux. Vandergrift going to watch him. Bordeaux sends it way wide. Navarrete coming out. Good play by George. He's got a little Hugo in him. That was a Hugo Silva play right there. Of course, always helps when you get to watch the best for game after game, or one of the best in Hugo Silva.
Yeah, I've been impressed with obviously George on the day. Chad Vandergrift, he showed me a ton of energy defensively, and even in his pressing, he's got a ton. He's another energizer bunny like Arico is, and have been very impressed with the composure of Carvalho, Victor Perez. Some of the stars have played very well tonight.
Another good stop by Navarrete. That one gets by him, but is wide on the short side. There is somebody on the Utica bench that has put a 6th attacker jersey on. I would think that's under the heading of much too little, much too late, but we'll see. 4.5 to go. 9-3 Florida.
Yeah, and those are opportunities both offensively and defensively when you have a 6 attacker for and against. These are great opportunities to work on closing the game out, because that's always difficult in an indoor game.
Carvalho to Arico. Arico with the shot. He misses on the short side. Good setup by Carvalho, as Segura will control now for Utica. Raymond being chased by Carvalho. Energized by his 4 goals tonight.
Yeah, and I got a feeling that he's going to get his 5th, because that goal is going to be empty with the 6 attacker, and there's going to be an opportunity for Monteleras, or Reggett, or Carvalho to just have a nice empty net goal, and I would love to see 5.
3:45 to go in the ball game. This is the final period, as the Utica City FC has gone to a 6th attacker now, but down 6 with 3.5 to go, so this is really just about affecting the final score line. And as you said, Robbie, just a chance to maybe put an individual stat or 2 on the board, as Coughlin will come back in on the possession change.
Well, and I think obviously the score line is going to stay relatively the same. You might get 1 for the Tropics, maybe 1 back for Utica City, but it is an opportunity for both sides to work on that 6 attacker against 6 attacker 4, because ultimately in the indoor game, that comes up quite frequently.
It does.
And I can remember a ton of comebacks in my Blast days where we were down 1, down 2, and we'd come back and win the game in overtime because of that 6th attacker.
Did you ever play as the 6th attacker?
Yes, quite a few years for the Blast. And
what's that like?
It's fun. It's nerve-wracking because ultimately you're going to get some shots every now and then. But really, when you pull the goal, you're losing the game, and it's about getting that 1 goal back. So it's super exciting for the fans, and I actually enjoyed it. And I was on the 6th attacker again against at the top of the house, we would call it,
right.
And consequently scored a lot of empty net goals. So it kind of padded my stats a little bit.
Here comes Taylor Walter Bond on the counter, knocked off by Yelovitz, and draw the call.
Well, Walter Bond, he's been an active participant today. He's got 2 goals on the night, and that last
he's
back.
Played well.
Yeah, he's got a lot of energy as well. He's wiry, he's long, he gets himself in good 1v1 situations, and another good pickup for Clay Roberts.
Yeah, and I think the fact he's getting regular playing time, which is something he did not get in San Diego, for whatever reason, it could have been injuries, could have been just decisions in terms of who's dressing, because there's a lot of talent on that San Diego Soccer's roster. But Clay Roberts, when he signed him, called him the most underrated player in the league, and he has been everything that the Tropics had hoped for, at least so far through the first 5 games. Ruggles will tee it up here from the near boards. Now leaves it off for Ricardinho. A 1v1 for Ricardinho against Yelovitz. Bo going to win that battle, and Coughlin will come up with it now with 2:23 left to play in this ball game. Tropics will improve to 4-1 on the season, 12 points atop the East, and Utica will fall to 2-3 and remain in second place. Baltimore not playing this weekend. Steal by Ricardinho. Ahead for Reggett. Reggett leaves it off for Ricardinho. Ubi Peripovic with the back check to break up that chance. Ruggles almost with another intercept. Now Reggett with it. Reggett, back heel to Ruggles. Ruggles. And somehow Coughlin took it off his foot. Oh, what a pretty play that was. First by Zach Reggett with the back heel to set Ruggles up all alone in front, and somehow Drew missed it. Here's a ball to Ruggles now. Ruggles, Coughlin out, tries to play it in front, and it's going to be an own goal, but it'll count. It actually went off Obasi, and I think Ruggles will get credit for it, but that's just a little salt in the wounds here late as the Tropics hit double digits and lead it now 10-3.
Well, yeah, again, they probably should have had it earlier with the back heel from Reggett, but Ruggles makes amends from that sloppy play and has a nice back post pass. Of course, it is an own goal, but you look at the replay, really just, I think, a tough night for Utica FC's keeper.
Really tough night for Andrew Coughlin. His distributions have just been not good.
No, he's had a tough one, and but you like what the Tropics have done. Part of that is the pressure that they've implied.
No doubt.
Yeah, they've had a good job as a collective unit in the attacking third with their pressure.
So Ruggles has 2. Second one not nearly as impressive as the first, but they both count the same. So it's a happy new year for the Florida Tropics and their fans, and on behalf of the MASL, the Florida Tropics, Utica City FC, and all the teams in the MASL this season, we want to wish our fans a very merry 2022, a happy new year, and couldn't ask for a better start for the Tropics. George Navarrete, a veteran of exactly 1 start ever in the MASL, is going to come out of here with the win, and was most impressive as well. Top to bottom, everybody did their job here tonight for the Tropics, Robbie, and I think really that's ultimately the storyline.
It is a storyline. It's a team game. I think they defended collectively as a unit. They pressed as a unit. They were really good in the transition opportunities in the numbers up situations, and certainly they were clinical as well, obviously with 4 goals from Cavallo.
Enrique will get it ahead to Oliveria. Oliveria can't win that foot race, one of the few times that Utica has been a little quicker than the Tropics tonight. Now Oliveria with it, still in the corner. That was Ronaldinho who actually was in there, hadn't taken much of a shift, and that's the ball game. Time has expired. Here in the fourth quarter, the fans come to their feet at the RP Funding Center, acknowledging a terrific effort by Florida again here tonight. George Navarrete will get the winning goal. He's going to go over and celebrate with the fans along the far boards, and why not, George? He told me the other day when I said, "Are you ready?" He said, "I was ready the second I signed my contract in 2016. Well, it only took him 6 years to actually get in for a real game, if you will, and he was great. 10-3 the final, as Brett Petracek, Chad Vandergriff, and others head George's way to help him celebrate. A big night for Ricardo Carvalho. A 4-goal effort for Carvalho brings him to second on the team now in goals scored. He's back in a big way. Ruggles with a pair, Walter Bond with a pair. We'll take a break and come back and wrap things up in just a moment. The final, once again, the Florida Tropics 10, Utica City FC 3. This is...
We are the Bond Clinic.
We are your medical services.
Comprehensive, personalized, state-of-the-art healthcare designed to serve you and your family.
We are community.
For over 70 years, the Bond Clinic physicians and our team of specialists deliver expert treatments and outstanding care. With over 90 providers, from pediatrics to diabetic care, lab services to sports medicine, we put your health first. Healthcare excellence in our community. The Bond Clinic.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Okay, so I locked my keys in my car. It could happen to anybody. Anyway, this guy shows up with this piece of metal to unlock my car. Does that thing work, I asked? Like a charm, he says. What happened next? I don't like to remember. You wouldn't believe what he did to my car.
Should have called Papa Lock. Papa Lock's friendly professionals will have your door open fast and at a price that'll make you smile. Next time, call Papa Lock.
Well, it's a Soccer Night Florida matinee win, an official Winn-Dixie win-win for the Florida Tropics as they steamroller the Utica City FC for the second time in 2 starts in 2021 and now 2022. The Tropics winning back in early December 7-1 in Utica, and no trouble again here in Lakeland this afternoon. A 7-goal performance, or a 7-goal differential. 10-3 the final. The Tropics with 5 players with double digits in scoring. Of course, led by Ricardo Carvalho with his 4 goals. Drew Ruggles also, by the way, had a 4-goal game with 2 goals and 2 assists. Victor Pereira with a goal and 2 assists. Taylor Walter Bond, as we said, with 2 goals. And Bruno Enrique had a goal and an assist. So a spread score sheet, which is kind of the Tropics' way, although Carvalho certainly the offensive star. George Navarrete, though, it's his game, and hopefully Clay Roberts has got a lineup card to give give George to frame and put on his wall and tell his grandkids someday about his tremendous afternoon at the RP Funding Center. He faced 16 shots, made 13 saves, allowed just 3 goals rather, and was very impressive. Tropics just on all cylinders again here today, Robbie. Just did not miss a beat on anything, and a little surprised at how easily it turned out again, but full marks to the Tropics for their effort here this afternoon.
Yeah, no, I agree, Brian. I think the Tropics and Clay Roberts should be super happy and excited in the way they performed. They came out in the first quarter with a lot of energy, movement of the ball. Their line changes were quick. They were good in the transition, and they defended collectively as a group. So all those things combined, and they certainly deserve the win tonight.
So the Tropics improve, as we said, to 4-1, and they will stay home for the entire month of March in this really crazy schedule that the MASL finally settled on for this season. So Utica will be right back here next Sunday. So a chance for Utica City to get revenge, and Utica City nor the Tropics will play again before that matchup next Sunday. So they will, depending on your point of view, have time to lick their wounds or revel in their win if you're Utica City or Florida, respectively. And then the Tropics will host the Harrisburg Heat for a Friday-Sunday weekend, then the Dallas Sidekicks for a Friday-Sunday weekend before finishing out the homestand on January 30th when the St. Louis Ambush come to town. And then the Tropics will actually play 9 of their final 12 games on the road. Beyond George Navarrete, though, Robbie, the other storyline that sticks out, obviously, is Ricardo Carvalho. Clearly was struggling early. Don't know if it, I hadn't really talked to him. Could have been an injury, could have been just trying to get rolling in the new season. And I know Clay Roberts sat down and had a little chat with him between the games against Ontario that Saturday, Sunday, December 18th, 19th. Don't think it was anything, not yelling or anything. Just I'm sure it was, hey, look, we need you. We know you're a talented player. Don't press. Just go out and play your game. He was much better against Ontario, got the game-winning goal in that one on the 19th. And, boy, tonight just absolutely the Ricardo Carvalho of old. Great finishes, in the right spot at the right time, just the kind of game that the Tropics expect from him.
No, exactly. I mean, he was certainly the offensive star of the night, and some of those finishes were clinical, world-class, great indoor goals as well. He took 2 of them first time, one off the boards and one in the path from Reggett, I can remember. But overall, he is a good clinical finisher. That's his expertise. He's very composed in the attacking half of the field, and you have to give him credit. Again, we're only 5 games into the season, so for the Tropics organization to put too much pressure on him right off the bat, sometimes it does take some time, and now he's got things rolling with a 4-goal night, and I would expect that to carry into next weekend's game.
Yeah, confidence is a funny and fickle thing in sports, and Ricardo has it now, and we'll see how it all translates going forward. So once again, the final here this afternoon in Lakeland, the Florida Tropics 10, Utica 3. These two teams will be right back at it a week from today, right here again at the RP Funding Center, and we'll see if the Tropics can continue their role then. But that'll do it for this afternoon. For Robbie Aristodemo and the GT Sports crew, we thank them for all their great work as always. We will see you again next Sunday at 2:45 on MASL TV. And don't forget all Florida Tropics games now available on DirecTV, AT&T Uverse, Verizon Fios, and a number of local and national cable systems. So as they say, check your local listings and catch a game. If you can't catch one here in person, catch one on MASL TV or elsewhere. The final, once again, Florida 10, Utica 3. We'll see you a week from today. Until then, have a great week, everybody.